Hello everyone. Today we will talk about gender in Suzanne Collins's The Hunger Games. In her book Gender Trouble, Judith Butler made a bold claim. She said that gender is not something you are born with. Instead, gender is something you do. It is a performance. Think about it this way. No baby is born knowing how to be a man or a woman. We learn these roles. We learn how to walk. We learn how to talk, dress, and act in ways that society calls masculine or feminine. We repeat these actions every day. Over time, these repetitions create the feeling that gender is natural. But Butler says this feeling is an illusion. She calls this gender performativity. Performativity means that the performance creates the identity. There is no real gender hidden inside you. The actions themselves are all there is. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone wears a dress, puts up on makeup, and speaks softly. Society sees this person as feminine. But Butler asks, is there a true femininity behind these actions? No, the actions are the femininity. If you stop performing them, the femininity disappears. This is a radical idea. It means that gender is not fixed. It can change, it can be played with, it can be parodied. Let us bring this to the Hunger Games. Susan Collins wrote this novel in 2008. It is set in a dystopian world called Panem. The government forces 24 children to fight to the death on live television. The main character is a 16-year-old girl named Katniss. Katniss is not a typical girly girl. She hunts, she provides for her family, she is tough and unsmiling. But to survive the games, she must learn to perform a different kind of femininity. She must act sweet, charming, and in love. This lecture will show you how Katniss performs gender. We will look at three main ideas. First, how Katniss blurs masculinity and femininity. Second, how she parodies gender like a drag performer. Third, how her fake romance challenges normal ideas about love and heterosexuality. To understand Katniss, we first need to know what society calls masculine and feminine. Johnson made two lists. Masculine traits include control, strength, competitiveness, toughness, and hiding emotions. Feminine traits include cooperation, caring, vulnerability, emotional expression, and nurturing. Now let us look at Katniss. She has many masculine traits. She is strong, she is an excellent hunter with a bow and arrow, she is competitive, she rarely cries. She says, I learned to turn my features into an indifferent mask so that no one could read my thoughts. She wears her father's hunting jacket. She hates the family cat because it is another mouth to feed. She is not the forgiving type. On the surface, Katniss looks like a masculine girl. Some critics have called her a man with breasts. They mean that she only succeeds because she acts like a man. But this is too simple. Katniss also has feminine traits. Her main motivation is love for her little sister Prim. She volunteers for Prim in the Hunger Games. That is an act of deep caring and protection. She also protects Rue, a 12-year-old tribute who reminds her of Prim. When Rue dies, Katniss sings her a lullaby. She covers Rue's body with flowers, she kisses her temple. These are nurturing actions, they are traditionally feminine. So Katniss is not just male or just female, she is both, she is a hybrid. Why does this matter? Because the question, is Katniss a man with breasts, is the wrong question. This question still believes in a strict male female binary. It says that if a man has masculine traits, she is less of a woman. Butler would say this binary is false. Gender is not two boxes, it is a spectrum. Collins also reverses gender roles with Peter. Peter is the male tribute. He is kind, sensitive, and emotional. He is a baker. Baking is a domestic, traditionally feminine job. He is bad at fighting. He uses his cake decorating skills to camouflage himself. In all three books, Katniss saves Peter. He becomes the damsel in distress. This reversal is powerful. It shows that masculinity is also a performance. Men do not have to be strong and silent, they can be soft and caring. Peter expresses his emotions freely. He talks about his feelings for Katniss on live television. That is not masculine behavior, but it works. The audience loves him. So, the first lesson is this: gender is not natural, it is learned. Katniss and Peeta show us that anyone can have any traits. Strength is not male, caring is not female, these are human qualities. Now let us talk about the most famous scene in the book, the makeover scene. Before the games, Katniss is taken to the capital. The capital is obsessed with beauty. People dye their skin strange colors. They wear wild wigs and extravagant clothes. They have surgically altered bodies. It is like our celebrity culture taken to the extreme. Katniss's stylist is named Cinna. He gives her a complete makeover. They remove all her body hair, they file her nails, they wash and style her hair, they put on thick makeup and dress her in a dramatic costume that lights on fire. Katniss hates it. She says she looks like a plucked bird ready for roasting. She feels like a creature. When she looks in the mirror, she does not recognize herself, but she understands something important. The makeover is not about her, it is about the audience. In the capital, how you look is everything. Rich sponsors watch the games. They can send gifts to tributes they like. These gifts save lives. So, to win, Katniss needs sponsors. And sponsors like pretty, charming, romantic girls. So, Katniss must perform a certain type of femininity. She must smile, she must be sweet, she must act in love. This is a performance. It is not her natural self. This is where Butler's idea of drag becomes very useful. Butler writes about drag performances. Drag queens dress as women. They wear wigs, makeup, and gowns. Many people think drag is fake. They think the drag queen is imitating a real woman. But Butler says something surprising. She says there is no real woman underneath. All women are performing. The drag queen just makes this performance visible. Drag mocks the idea that there is a true gender identity. It shows that all gender is imitation, there is no original. Katniss's makeover is a kind of a drag. She puts on a costume, she plays a role, she acts like a silly girl spinning in a sparkling dress. She blows kisses to the crowd, she giggles on stage. This is not her real self. But Butler would say there is no real self underneath. There is only the performance. What is interesting is that Katniss knows she is performing. She is strategic about it. She thinks, I have to give the audience something to care about. She learns to use femininity as a tool. She performs weakness to gain sympathy. She performs romance to gain gifts. This is parody. Katniss mocks the idea of the perfect girl. She shows how ridiculous it is. At the same time, she uses it to survive. That is the double edge of gender performativity. You can be trapped by the performance or you can use it. Katniss does both. Another example is her emotional control. In the arena, Katniss hides her pain and fear. She severely burns her leg, but she does not cry. She knows that crying makes her look weak. So she smiles instead. She thinks pity does not get you aid. Admiration at your refusal to give in does. This is also a performance. It is a performance of strength. But strength is a gendered idea. Men are supposed to be strong, women are supposed to be emotional. Katniss switches between both. She performs masculinity in the arena, she performs femininity on the stage. Neither one is her true self, both are survival tools. Let us now discuss about love, specifically the fake romance between Katniss and Peeta. Before the games, Peeta confesses on live television that he has a crush on Katniss. This is not planned, but Katniss's mentor Haymitch sees an opportunity. He tells Katniss to act like she returns Peeta's feelings. Haymitch says it is all a big show. It is all how we are perceived. He says that a love story gets sponsors. The audience loves tragedy and romance, so Katniss performs heterosexuality. She holds Peeta's hand, she kisses him, she whispers sweet things, she pretends to be a girl in love. But inside, she is thinking about survival. She is not feeling romantic love, she is acting. Butler writes about heteronormativity. Heteronormativity is the belief that everyone is or should be heterosexual. It also assumes that everyone wants romantic love and marriage. Butler says that heterosexuality is not natural, it is a performance that repeats itself over and over. People learn how to act straight by watching movies, reading books, and copying others. Katniss does exactly this. She remembers how her parents acted. She remembers old movie lines. At one point, she and Peeta quote from old romantic movies. She says, "Abstinence makes the heart grow fonder." He says, "You come here often." They both smile, they know they are acting. Katniss even thinks I made that up. She admits that one of her romantic memories was a fantasy. This self awareness is crucial. It shows that the performance is not natural, it is chosen. But here is the big twist. Unlike most heroines, Katniss is not actually interested in romance. She does not feel attracted to Peeta or Gale in a romantic way. She cares about them as friends and partners. But she does not dream about kissing them. She does not want to get married. She does not want children. Katniss says, "I have never had much time or use for romance." She says about Gale, "There has never been anything romantic between us." When other girls whisper about Gale, she feels jealous, but not because she wants him romantically. She says good hunting partners are hard to find. The only person Katniss says "I love you" to is Prim. She says it twice. She never says it to Peeta or Gale. Even at the end of the third book, when Peeta says "You love me, real or not real," she answers "real." But she does not say the three words herself. This is very important. Critics have called Katniss aromantic. An aromantic person does not experience romantic attraction. This is different from being asexual. Asexuality is about sex. Aromanticism is about love. Katniss may be both, but the book focuses on her lack of romantic feelings. Why is this radical? Because young adult fiction is full of love triangles. In most books, the heroine is torn between two handsome boys. Her main goal is to choose the right one. Think of Bella in Twilight. Most of her story is about Edward versus Jacob. Katniss is different. She is not torn, she does not care. The love triangle exists, but she is not really in it. She is focused on survival, family, and rebellion. Love is a distraction, it is a tool, it is a performance. This challenges heteronormativity. It shows that a young woman can be complete without a boyfriend. She can have goals that are not about romance. She can be a hero on her own terms. Let us summarize everything. First, Judith Butler teaches us that gender is a performance. It is not something we are born with, it is something we do. We learn to act masculine or feminine. We repeat these actions until they feel natural. But they are not natural, they are learned. Second, the Hunger Games shows this clearly. Katniss is not born tough or gentle. She learns to be both. She performs masculinity when she hunts. She performs femininity when she dresses up. She performs romance when she needs sponsors. Each performance is a tool for survival. Third, The book parodies gender. The makeover scene is like a drag. It mocks the idea of a true female identity. It shows that all femininity is a costume. Katniss knows she is wearing a mask. That self awareness is powerful. Fourth, Katniss challenges heteronormativity. She is not interested in romance. She may be aromantic. She loves her sister more than any boy. She never says, I love you to Peeta or Gale. Her story shows that a woman can be whole without a partner. The ending is not a traditional happy ending. Katniss marries Peeta, but she does it for practical reasons. She chooses hope over destruction. She stays true to herself. She is still the same survivor she always has. So, what is the final lesson? Gender is flexible. You can perform it in many ways. You can use it to survive, you can parody it, you can refuse parts of it. You are not trapped by your body or by society's rules. Katniss Everdeen teaches us that. Butler's theory helps us see it. Thank you.